Become the face of greed on Wall Street, and now it looks like alleged $50 billion Ponzi scheme mastermind Bernie Madoff is ready to admit to his massive deception. NBC's Peter Alexander has the latest. Good morning, Peter.
Meredith, when Bernie Madoff arrives here at federal court this Thursday, he's expected to plead guilty, admitting for the first time publicly that he masterminded this multi-billion-dollar Ponzi scheme. And in court, Madoff may face off with angry investors, some of whom are worried he could get off easy. While Bernie Madoff's attorneys hammer out a plea deal with prosecutors, the biggest alleged con man in history is still living in luxury with his wife Ruth inside their Manhattan penthouse. Across the country, near Phoenix, Ronnie Sue Ambrosino and her husband Dominic are living in the only home they have, an RV. They say they lost their entire life savings, more than $1.5 million to Madoff.
The anger has been, it keeps growing.
4 years after retiring to travel, they're now struggling to cover their bills and gas.
Basically, we're stranded in Arizona right now. The impact of Bernard Madoff has changed our lives.
These are specials.
Ian Tierman says he had nearly $750,000 invested with Madoff. At 90, he's been forced to go back to work as a supermarket greeter. He doesn't want prosecutors to be lenient.
I think he should spend the rest of his life in prison, personally.
Substantial prison time, as is expected, could mean a life sentence for the 70-year-old Madoff. Why would the government cut a deal? Legal experts say Madoff may be the only person with all the answers.
Madoff is the guy who has the keys to the castle as far as the government's concerned.
Any plea agreement is almost certain to require that Madoff tell all. Where's the money, and who else was involved?
Sir, how do you feel?
So what does Madoff want? To protect his wife, his high school sweetheart, who once worked as his bookkeeper. Madoff's lawyers claim she should be allowed to stay in the couple's $7 million apartment and be able to keep another $62 million in investments. Money she says was unrelated to the fraud and obtained through a family inheritance. But that's infuriating to many investors who say it's impossible Ruth Madoff was oblivious to her husband's alleged $50 billion scheme.
We know for a fact that she was married to a man that's defrauded tens of thousands of people. Where else could she have gotten this money? I don't think she was out cleaning houses. I need to have an answer as to how this can keep going on.
Madoff could face a long list of charges, including securities fraud, even money laundering, Meredith, but prosecutors have signaled they intend to pursue all of his assets, including the couple's fancy Manhattan apartment.